world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button. If you're feeling this content, smash that thumbs up button. So we got Jerry Big Daddy Cadorette in the house today. What up, champ?
What's up?
So it's been a week since we've been talking, and a lot of stuff been going on in the arm wrestling community, and want to get your thoughts and reactions on them. First being Engen had on Hermes Gasparini, our next opponent, and Hermes was talking a little crap, bro, saying that let me read you his quote. He goes, "I'm at 85% of my best shape, and even this shape, I could beat Jerry." So when I saw that, I was like, uh-oh. Jerry, what's your thoughts on that, bro? You think 85% Hermes can give you a run, bro?
Well, let me tell you something. If that's 85%, what we saw when we were just there in Turkey, unless he just like made a transformation over fucking 10 days, right? That was soft, right? He better, I don't know what he's smoking, but you should fucking market that shit, Paul, because fucking if that's 85% of where he can get, then he better not show up in Turkey in fucking November, because if he can only get 15% better, there's 100% chance that he should stay the fuck in Italy.
Yeah, he was posting, I think, some pictures of what he's been eating, and it's just these huge plates of pasta and all that. So, that's great to see, because, pasta's not going to do it, guys. You're just going to gain a whole bunch of fat and just mess up your endurance. So I think he might be going about this the wrong way, man. He needs a lot more protein and not these simple carbs. Those should be his worst enemy. So, what's your thoughts, bro? What do we? Hold on, you gotta stop moving. You gotta stop moving around. It's making your service bad. Okay, it was a glitch. So, what was your thoughts, man? What are you thinking about going against Hermes and all? Is there any concerns? Are you worried about his style in any kind of way?
No. Nope. I look at it like I faced Travis, right? Who I would consider in 06 or 07, whatever it was, when I went against Travis when he was at his all-time best. I would put that Travis against anyone nowadays. And there's no way that he's going to be better than that version of Travis that I beat. So
you think it's a very similar style to Travis than Hermes pulling?
Yeah, I would say it's super similar to that style, right? And I just don't know if I wouldn't say that version of Travis is going to be equivalent to what Hermes can get to. I don't know if Hermes can get to that level of Travis. That level of Travis, that was a 290-pound beast that got on the table and was dominating everyone. I mean, he had just beat everyone there was to beat, right? So I look at it like that was the neighbor just calling my phone number, the one that I texted. That's fucking funny as shit. So I know that Hermes is strong and I like him, right? I think he's great for the sport. I just think he's young. I think he's going to grow into it. I think he's going to get better. I think he should be able to get a lot better than it's considering he's at 85% now. I think maybe he just doesn't know. But I look at it like he's not going to be equivalent to what Travis was when I went against Travis. That Travis beat all the top people, right? Everyone, Alexei Vovodo, who was unstoppable, and Travis blew through him. He beat John. He beat, you name it. He beat him. And then me and him had our match set up, and that was huge, like probably the biggest match to that date. And we all know how that ended.
And what would you consider yourself now? Are you in better shape than back then, or you think back then you were a little more peaked out?
No. I think I am equal to that version of me then, but I think I'm going to get to a level I've never been to, right? And I've just got to push myself. And one of the things that I could hang a hat on back then was I didn't need to train as much. I arm wrestled a lot. I was always arm wrestling, so I wasn't, like overly crazy about working out. I would do it half-ass, and you just bounce back because when you're younger, you're more resilient, and you know, I was in my 30s back then, and I thought I was king of the world, but I did. I became number one in the world after that meet, and then riding that level, it made it so it was cool, but I don't know, like I know I could have been so much better. I just was beating people off of the talent I had, and I didn't raise the bar. I just went in here knowing that was good enough to win, right? Never had to push myself up to there.
And that's what's crazy. I try explaining that to people in the last couple weeks because when I went to Turkey with you, we had this conversation, and I talked with your wife Kate, and she confirmed everything you were saying, how you were not really training during those WAL matches, that you were coming in kind of off the couch, 5 kids, running a business and all that. And when I tell people this, they just like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, are you kidding me? You're telling me this man wasn't just bullshit? And they're just not believing it. And, I was there. I heard your wife, and, she straight up said it, and then she also confirmed to me when, you were going for Gennady that, you've stepped up training, and that got me happy. I was a little nervous. I didn't know what kind of shape we were coming in with. And, after seeing her reaction and going, I've never seen him train like this. So everything you were saying was confirmed, through your wife. And I was like, all right, this made me feel a lot better. Because I also got to give you an example is when we threw that big match in Virginia, and it was with Travis versus Brandon Elsessor. So, it was the last minute. I think it was like a month out. We ended up setting that match between Brandon and Travis. So I keep going to Travis, yo, you train? Yeah. I got this. All right. So he's training. All right. Well, I go into West Virginia. I get over to his house. It was like 2 days before the event. And I go in there, and I'm used to seeing in the corner of his room the side pressure machine. And I look, and it's not there. And I'm like, yo, what's up with this? If he's in training, that's up in the living room. Casey hates when it's there, but that means he's on the phone or whatever he's doing side pressure. Well, I asked Casey, I'm like, yo, where's the machine? She goes, Paul, he hasn't did nothing. It's been downstairs. I'm like, wait, what? Like, he hasn't trained. She goes, not one bit. She's like, I've been bothering him. And, I'm like, oh my God. So, the wives are always going to tell the truth. They're going to rat you guys out and all that. But it was definitely, it was great feeling to know that you were putting in the work and all. And I know that on this one, you said you're even going to step it up even more. So what can we expect, bro? What are you actually talking about? Are we talking about endurance? Are we talking about strength? Like, what are we talking by stepping up?
I would think that the level I went in at, right? Like before I didn't train at all. And then for the one with Gennady, I was trying to force myself to train and get in shape and get ready. And I was going to practices, and I says, okay, let me see how I'm doing with that. And then I was lifting, but not lifting crazy. So I end up, if I was to really put like a meter to the level I believe I was when I went in there, it would be in the 40s, right? 40 percentile of where I think I can get myself to. But remember, 40% from 0%, right? Like it was 0% training to 40% training. That's huge, right? That's a big jump for me, right? And that's because, like I said, I work 60 hours a week. I got, unlimited number of kids, right? And well, you see my house, so it gets a little chaotic, right? And I'm trying to train with, my 3-year-old, my 8-year-old, right? They're out there. I put the peg in to do 150 pounds. He takes it out for me to do 5 pounds, right? And I'm like, fuck, stop it, right? So it's difficult. Real life is difficult, right? And fortunate for my family, I've got a good job. And, but that good job requires me to, be there and pay attention to it. And, it consumes most of my time and energy during the day. So I get home at 7 p.m. I want to eat. I want to see the kids. I haven't seen them. Right. So, and then I want to force myself to work out. So I work out for 20 minutes and I'm like, okay, I'm all done. Right. And then let me go in and be with the kids. So, it's good in a way because, it's eye opening, right? It's like, okay, I definitely have to train harder. Like, I mean, Gennady was a fucking beast. He was so strong. Right. And, God bless, I was able to pull out the win. Right. But he was super strong. Right. And, I know that it was okay, Jerry, you might've thought you were really good because I'm basing it on all the people I practice with. And unfortunately, I don't have a Gennady to practice with. I don't have, people that are in the top 10 in the world. So I got a great group that I train with. And, luckily, Alex is bringing bands and we're working it out that way and we're doing round robin. But I need to go to fatigue. I need to go to exhaustion. I need them to use the bands. I need to stop worrying, am I doing enough? I got to go until I can't go anymore. Right. So I need them to push me harder and ultimately it's going to push them harder too. So I think, I've got the visualized game plan in my head. I just got to follow through with it. And I'm going to need them to really work me harder. And whether it's using a band, whether it's, instead of them just using a band around them, maybe one person's pulling on the band for resistance and I'm going against someone, right? But either way, I want to elevate my ability and bring it to a level that even I haven't seen, and make it so it's going to be off the charts, right? So I'm looking at Hermes as a speed bump that's in the way of me getting to Lavon, right? So I need to tailor my training to get myself ready to go against Lavon and prove to the world that, yes, I do have a shot, right? And prove to myself, right? Because visually and mentally, you have to see yourself winning, right? And what's the path to get there? Don't show up if you think you're going to lose, right? And so I tell people all the time, if you don't believe in yourself, who the fuck else is going to believe in you, right? So I believe that I can bring something to the table that he hasn't seen. I believe that if I can get into my position, right, and slow him down, that my endurance is going to be better than his, right? And I have a history and a track record of super long matches. He ends his matches quick, including even the ones that he lost. He lost quicker, right? And what's the longest match he's been in, right? I've got 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And I mean that's Michael Todd, John Brzenk, Devin Larratt. I mean, top competitors in the world, and I outlasted them, right? So to me, that's where I need to even elevate my game more and want to get to a position that I am undoubtedly, without question, going to be a person that I've never seen, right? And that no one's ever seen. So to me, I think it's exciting, right? So I'm setting goals that I want to achieve, and bi-weekly goals. So whether it's strength goals, time goals, fatigue goals, whatever, goals are going to get set and I'm going to achieve them. So how long can I hold myself at 90-degree angles on the pull-ups, right? With just my fingertips, whatever time it is. Now I'm going to, multiply it by 1.25. Then I'm going to multiply it by 1.25 again. Every percentage increase is in the right direction, So if I continue to get at least 1% better every day, right? It's a small number, but it's always better, right? And it's always going in the right direction. And inevitably, there's going to be days that you get better than 1%, but I just don't want to go backwards. So I've got it mentally drawn out in my head. I just got to push myself and get through it, because I think the other side of it is, you go to work for 10 or 11 hours in a day, you come home, you're mentally fatigued. I don't do physical work, I do mental work, right? And so you just come mentally tired, right? So I got to find something that, I don't know if it's Red Bull, I don't know if it's, whatever the answer is, but maybe it's another coffee, right? But I don't know, but just something to,
You want to know the name of it, bro? It's called Paul Italia. Because Paul
yeah.
Italia is coming in September, brother, and we're doing our training camp. And, I got my list of things that I feel like we got to work on. And I know we're going to be butting heads and there's going to be a lot of clashing and shit. But, I'm going to be that guy that's annoying in your ear, bro. And like, we got to get out there, got to train some more, and we got a couple of big practices set up. We're coming out in that first week of September. We're going to hit the normal Massachusetts practice that you have, but we're going to invite more people. And then we got September 25th. We got the big one at Dave Morocco's, where we're going to fly into Maryland for the day. And we just got all the top guys coming there. So, you're going to have those top elites tugging on the arm and testing that endurance. And, this is all Team Jerry. Try to get Jerry ready for Hermes. And, not just Hermes. The whole plan is right after that, we're going to Levant. So, this is a progression, everybody. What a lot of people don't understand is, we see the route to number one. And, this whole progression is to get to number one. Hermes is not the end. Levant is. So we did Gennady. You got up to 40% of your max potential, you feel. I'm hoping to see 70, 80% by, November 19th to get you ready for Hermes. And then the next, I'm hoping that we're going to get at least, 3 to 6 months after that. And that's for the number one guy, bro. And by that time, you should be hitting 110, 120% off the meter. I want to now hit on a lot of the current events that's been going on. And you're all involved in them. And the one big thing was between Engin Terzi and Devin Lorette. So we know that Engin put out his world rankings, but we're going to call it the Engin rankings. And when he did, oh man, there was a lot of controversy. Devin instantly made a post and started asking questions and saying how come he wasn't on the list. And so the main three problems that Devin had with the list was that he had that you were up at number 2. So let me first start off. Let me read the list to you, so that we're all on the same page here. This is Engin's rankings that he posted. Number 1 position, he has Levant, which, we all know that's the number 1 guy in the world. This is where it starts getting a little, where everybody lines up, and this is where the controversy stirs in. We got you at number 2, Gennady at number 3, Artem Morzov at number 4, Dave Chafee at number 5, Alex Cadorette at number 6, Hermes Gasparini at number 7, 8, we got Rivas, 9, Monster Michael Todd, and number 10, Prudnik. So what Devin is saying is that it's flawed because, first off, that the Russians aren't involved, all due to politics, which, I explained to everybody that it's not up to Engin on that. Engin's part of the Turkish Arm Wrestling Federation, which deals with all the other world organizations and federations. And, there is a ban for the Russians. They cannot be a part of any of those events. So it's not up to Engin on that. He has to do that. That's the law of his land. So I understand why they're not on there. But the other problem that Devin is saying is that, he's saying that Dave Chafee and Monster Michael Todd should not be under you, that they have wins on you, So just what's your thoughts, man? Who do you believe is right as far as the rankings?
I think Engin's pretty close, right? And I beat Gennady, who just beat Dave and beat Michael, right? Michael got 0 wins on Gennady. So why would he think otherwise, right? I mean, you can hold on and you can, smoke the pipe. You can do whatever it is you want. Whatever, wave your little fairy dust and say that you should be this or you should be that. But I mean, let's use the same mathematical formula, right? I beat Gennady. He got 0 wins on Gennady. I beat Todd Hutchins 3-0. He barely beat Todd Hutchins, right? 3-2. Let's mathematical formula says that yes, right? He's not in the same league, right? And then he's claiming he's got the win on me. The last one's a win on me. He didn't want to pull, right? I took the foul in the strap. The strap was clearly fucked up, right? So whatever. I don't care, right? It was 2.5 years ago, right? It is what it is. If he wants to, you know, let's think about this for a minute. That ended in a foul, right? And then he refused to pull, so then they said fuck it and they gave it to him. Funny thing is, they called me saying that they fucked up, right? They changed the rule. They sent me the new strap. They did everything, right? To tell me that, yes, they know they fucked up, right? Which is fine, right? People fuck up. And I mean, that was clearly an equipment failure, not a competitive failure. It was an equipment failure that no one could have won. So then you go to the time before that. Me and Michael pulled in Cleveland. I won. 7-minute match. I beat him, got the restart, beat him again, right? So, no. So I have the last win, right? You can't call yourself a win on fouls, so whatever. I'm all set, right? He can't beat me anyway. So,
Well, you know what I got to say, brother, is that's all in the past, man. Let's leave all the WAL because it's a different league, different rules, different equipment, so let's just.
Well, honestly, I don't care. I fucking had Lyme disease when I went against him. I was weak as fuck. Right? And I still beat him. And I think what he's doing is amazing. And I think as a true warrior competitor that he is, he's not going to want to admit that I'm going to beat him. But I think he knows, right? I mean, he wouldn't even give me the time of day for a match when he was ranked above me and I was out of the rankings. Why? If it's such an easy win and it's clear and decisive, whatever, why wouldn't you have given me the match, right? Knowing that the last one ended in controversy and everyone wanted to see it, right? So he clearly told me no, and he said that I would have to go against Corey before I would get a shot with him. Whatever, right? So, and again, I love Michael. He stayed at my house, and whatever, right? We're not even talking about the practice poem that we did together, right? So we talk about that, it'd be a different story. But so I know what I bring to the table. I know what he brings to the table. This version of me, and we've seen the version of Michael, right? He's smart to drop down to under 250, right? To go against that level of competitive, that's where Michael's going to dominate. He hasn't fared so well against heavier opponents, right? And so whatever, right? But I understand his thought process. So it is what it is, right? I don't care. Right now that I'm ranked above him, then he wants to squawk and holler and hoot and rant, rave. But that's okay. I did what he couldn't do. I already proved it. You can go rerun and watch the tape, right? Show me the wins that he got on Gennady. Oh, there are none. Okay. So anyway, right? I got it. Then with Dave's a legitimate threat, right? I mean, he's super fucking strong. I don't know what's been going wrong with him, and his stamina is gone, right? I don't know, right? And maybe it's the long travel that goes out there. And I think Dave showed up on like Thursday afternoon, right? And so I think that has shit to do with it, right? Because I mean, you show up on a Thursday afternoon and you compete on Friday night. I don't know. I can't speak for Dave, but I love Dave, right? And he clearly showed that he's stronger. And if it was a best of 3 match, Dave's, arguably, unbelievable, right? I also, the last time I faced Dave was many years ago. And then the last time Dave and I were pulling was at a monster truck jam in Foxborough Stadium. And, there was no ready goes. There was no whatever. It was exhibition. But we were going back and forth. He'd win, I'd win, he'd win, I win, he'd win, I win. I believe Josh Grant has like the whole thing on video, right? It was like 20 something minutes of back and forth. And hats off to Dave, right? I mean, he's amazing. He's good. He's great. But I think that I'm in great shape, and I beat the guy that he couldn't beat, although he did beat him 2 times in a row. And that match, had it been here in the United States, maybe Dave sweeps him 3-0. I don't know, right? But I mean, it clearly was Dave's day the first two. And I mean, Gennady just showed that he has superior stamina, right? And then came back and swept the last three against Dave, which was unbelievable, right? And then Devin's got to drop down a class, right? I mean, he hurt himself trying to go up, and it's tough for him to put on that much weight. And he's made it clear that he wants to drop down a class. So whatever, right? And then me and Devin, we go and we have to start even, and no, bullshit fouls and jumping your shoulder in, and it is what it is, right? I think if I'm this heavy and he's dropping down the weight, there's no way he's winning, right? But it doesn't mean that I don't love Devin. I love Devin, and I love how amazing he is for the sport, right? But you have to believe in yourself, and I truly 100% emphatically believe in my ability and what I can do and will do. So, and there's always going to be naysayers. Who gives a shit, right? That's fine. That's what makes it fun, right? If you go in landslided and everyone's one way and not for the other, I mean, whatever. But I think what makes arm wrestling unique and awesome and amazing is the spectators, the fans, the people that watch it. If there is no support, there is no controversy, there's no build up in the sport. Doesn't make it interesting. So the part that makes it interesting is the fact that we all have different opinions, and some people's opinions say that Jerry's going to win. That's awesome. I love being my corner. Awesome. Then the other people's opinions say Jerry can't beat this person. Jerry couldn't beat a girl. Jerry couldn't do this. Jerry can't do that. I've been living with that my whole life. I love proving those people wrong. That's like fucking putting gasoline on a fire. It's like, okay, great, keep saying that. I love being the underdog because I'll just go in and prove everyone wrong and do what I got to do, right? So I think that you'll see that when I am going to be progressing and getting ready for this next match, a transition. You're going to see me escalate my abilities, my physical appearance, my strength, my technique, my whole 9 yards is going to start to get better, because I've never been more driven to prove something. And I know that this version of Jerry that's in front of you right now cannot N-O-T beat Levon, right? If I was to go against Levon that day that I took on Gennady, I would undoubtedly lose, right? I felt Gennady's strength, and I know that Levon beats Gennady, but I know that they have some battles, right? But so that version of Levon that's right now beats this version of Jerry. But the Jerry that I know I need to progress to and get myself to 95% that no one's ever seen, including myself, right? It's the road to 95, right? The highway's right down the street from me. It's Route 95. So I'm going to put my goal is going to be the goal to 95. And I'm going to get there. And when I do, oh my God, right? It's going to be a fucking freak show, right? And I am so excited to see how strong can I get? How big can I get? How unbelievably dominant can I get? To me, it's going to be exciting, right? Because my season for selling at work is, it starts to slow down a little bit. As it slows down, if I can just pick up 1 hour per day to be able to go and fucking just focus on training and getting massive and getting super strong, then it's going to be so much fun, right? Like, just to see, right? So when we do the videos and we go and we do these practices in different places with different levels of competitors, and then we'll be able to, get their input. Like, where do you weigh, my ability and whatnot? And I believe that they're going to say the same thing. They're going to say, I don't know who the fuck that was, but that wasn't Jerry, right? And so it's got to be the Levon killer, right? So that's what we got to escalate to, the Levon killer.
I can't wait to see that Jerry come out. But one thing I do want to just say is that, everything that Devin was saying was very respectful of you, brother. He always kept you and saying that you were an amazing arm wrestler and that you deserve, to be recognized because you didn't get the recognition back in the day that you deserve. So, I just want to throw in that little tidbit. And then the other thing that I just want to really get across to everybody is Engin's thoughts on this ranking system. Engin is starting somewhere. He's got a starting point, and everything that it's based on is on his East versus West super matches, nothing else. So when we talk in 2-3 years in the past and all, that has nothing to do with this ranking system. We don't care what happened in the WAL. That doesn't matter here. We have to start somewhere, and I completely understand that. We're at square one, so it might not be the most accurate ranking systems as of right now, but every event, every King of Table event that goes on, we're getting better, and we're updating these, and we're getting a little tighter in knowing where everybody's placed. So, in my eyes, this is the best thing. It might not be accurate completely right now, but in 2 years from now, this is going to be the ranking system. So, I am definitely excited on what Engin's doing, and I think it's a very smart move, and it's going in the right direction to really size everybody up. Talk about what came from that world rankings. What we got from that was that we got a match. We got Devin saying that he is going to confirm to be part of East versus West. And he hasn't given a date, and he hasn't given an opponent. But what was offered to him was Prudnik as the first opponent. So we haven't got that actually locked in. But I do want to talk about that possible match going down. And that would be at the 110 kilogram weight class, but with 115 as the weight cap. So, he's allowing 5 kilograms allowance. So that's 253 pounds. What do you think between a match from Prudnik and Devin? Who gets the win?
I would say the Prudnik I saw against Todd Hutchins really impressed me, right? And I was expecting a war because I respect Todd Hutchins so much, right? And I know how strong Todd is. And knowing that Prudnik was able to go inside and go through Todd that way, I mean, there's no question that Prudnik is training like a beast. And I think Devin is arguably probably one of the smartest arm wrestlers on the planet. He'll watch videos, he'll study the opponent, and he'll go after their weakness. He's like fucking Tom Brady, going against his opponent. Tom Brady's not better physically than any other quarterback, believe me. He's definitely far from it, but he's just smarter, right? And he knows what he needs to do to find the win. And that's what Devin does. He knows what he does to have to do to find the win. And he will make sure that he trains in that way to make sure it works, right? So I would love to see that match happen, and it would be tough for me to root against Devin because I'm such a big fan of him. But I think it's a battle, and I think whoever wins, it wins it 3-2. I say it goes the distance, and it goes down to the last match, and it's going to be who has more in the gas tank, and Devin's proven that his gas tank's pretty fucking big, but Prudnik proved that to me that he's a warrior, right? And he's super strong. So I'm excited to see that match if it happens.
Yeah, I am too. And the other thing that we got to remember is Prudnik just doesn't beat guys in his weight class. I mean, he beat Artem Morzov in, the East versus West. And, we got to see Artem, bro. What a specimen that boy is. And, 6'4", 285. So, Prudnik's able to hang with the supers and be at the top level. So, and I mean, have you ever seen such easy work made of Todd Zilla, man? Which I wasn't expecting that, bro. I thought we were going to have at least a battle on that one. And, Prudnik really showed his dominance that day, which I don't think too many people were expecting. And, I think even I had Todd on after that, and I think he was in shock. He did not expect that. And he actually gave reference to what he looks at Prudnik as. And he says that he's got the hand of John Brzenk and he's got the arm power of Dave Chafee. And just being compared to those two guys, oh my God, that says a lot right there. And then the other thing that Engen is saying is Engen is comparing Prudnik to being the Levon of the 110 kilogram weight class, which that is pretty extreme right there. So from that, what do you think November 19th holds? We got Prudnik going to be going against the monster Michael Todd. Do you think Monster has what it takes at that lower weight class, being 253 pounds? You think he got some for Prudnik?
No, I don't think if Mike comes in under 250 and Prudnik comes in at 250, based on how Prudnik did against Todd Hutchins and how much trouble Michael Todd had against Todd Hutchins, and Michael was like 260, so he's going to drop 10 more pounds and go against a guy that had no trouble with Todd, right, Hutchins. I think that's going to be a scary match for Michael Todd. I think Michael Todd's going to be resorting to using the King's move to tire him out. I don't know if Prudnik has the way I see Michael winning is if Michael can stop him with the King's move and wears him out, right? If he can stop him, he will wear him out and he will bleed him because that's what Michael does. But I just don't know if he's going to have the power to stop him at 250. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough. And it's because seeing the power at what Prudnik was, I don't know. I mean, it was
the speed for me, bro. That's where I'm like, I don't even know if he could get into the King's move that quick, bro. Prudnik was just lightning fast in the way he was just going right through Todd, but like Todd wasn't even there.
Yeah, so. No, I agree. So, I mean, Michael's going to have to be able to stop that. And that's what I'm saying. If he stops him, then obviously Michael's proved himself that he is, a tireless person where I think there's only, a couple people on the planet that have outlasted him. You're talking to one of them. So
what happens now if Monster does get the win that day? Would you still want to see Prudnik and Devin, or you would say, nah, I could figure out from there that Devin's going to be the more dominant guy?
I mean, it still would be interesting to see Devin and Prudnik because styles make matches. And I think another interesting match would be if Michael was able to pull out the win, which I'm not sure he's going to be able to, but if he could, then what I think would be kind of cool would be a match with Devin and Michael under 250 each, right? Both competitors under 250, and let's see what happens, right? I think that'd be pretty cool because both competitors were much heavier when they went against each other, and to see what toll it took to get them under 250 and then have them go head to head, that'd be awesome because Michael Todd beat Devin in WAL, but then Michael Todd loses 3-0, or whatever it was, 6-0 at King of the Table against Devin, with Devin being, heavier and bigger, right? So I don't know. I think that would be kind of cool. But I think Michael's focus needs to be on getting ready for Prudnik and seeing if he can take out Prudnik at that weight. And Michael loves titles. So with this being a title match, he's going to be putting his 110% into it. So,
yeah, he wants his shield back at the Monster Factory, man. That's a nice trophy to get up there for sure.
I can let him borrow mine.
The other big trending topic going around, and this topic just keeps resurfacing. It comes up for a couple months, and that's all everybody's talking about, and then it disappears for a while, and we're back now. So we're talking about PEDs in arm wrestling. This is just going everywhere. So they had Ryan Bowen came out with a video and he kind of just broke down everything that he did when he was on PEDs, gave out his cycle, gave out his experience, what he witnessed and all. And it just got the whole arm wrestling community talking about it. And, Neil Pickup had his show on. He had RVJ, Coach Ray, and everybody was just kind of weighing in and kind of got RVJ going, on his kick with PEDs. So, of course, RBJ went home, made a couple more videos. And so now we're just all going back and forth. And getting our thoughts on what PEDs in arm wrestling, if we should allow them, if we need to come up with tighter rules. So I just want to get your thoughts, man. What is your thoughts on PEDs in arm wrestling?
Well, I think seeing the level of the opponents, right? And how big and how strong and how young and how unbelievably massive everyone's getting. I would think it's no secret, right? That there's tons of people that are using them, right, to get to that level. And I think as long as you have, she's trying to get a light. I know I probably look like I'm.
Yeah, it's the shadow. But
Yeah. Let me. I'm trying to. She's going to get a battery for the light. I'm
okay.
Sitting outside because my neighbors are throwing a big bash and I didn't get an invite. Fucking assholes, right? So I think as long as there are people that are doing them, it's going to force tons of people to do them, and I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. You know, so I mean, it just it's inevitable, right? And one person does it, then another one does it, then tons of people are doing it, and it is what it is. But people can do them, but they still have to put the work in. It's not like
now, do you have a problem with it personally? Do you think that it should be banned, or are you just you're okay with it? You know, you understand at the top level that's what's needed.
I think one of the problems you have is people, spectators, right? Spectators, promoters, people that watch the sport, they want to see it, you know, and they want to see freaks of nature going against freaks of nature, right? And so it makes it difficult. So I don't have a problem with it either way. You know, it'd be cool if they banned it. It'd be, you know, cool if they don't. I don't care, right? And my thoughts are that it's what's the matter? Battery's dying. Oh, there's the lights on. Thought it was gonna be a strobe light for a minute, Paul. Right, but so like I said, it is what it is. Right? To each his own. You know, they're gonna do it or they're not gonna do it. It's just you go down one of those slippery, dangerous slopes because there's people that do it, there's people that abuse it, there's people that do whatever. And how much of your soul are you willing to sell to try to impress someone, right? And to try to, you know, I need another edge to try to beat this person or whatever. And so whatever, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's someone's decision to do it.
Yeah, and I believe what we were talking on, me and Lachlan, we actually did an interview on this topic, and it's on my channel. So if you haven't already, go check that out. Me and Lachlan there talking PEDs. But what a lot of these people that don't understand PEDs or very basic knowledge on them is there's so many different substances that are, very fast acting. So to legitimately say that you would be able to test everybody and find out if they're clean or not is not a reality. You know, we got growth hormone that's in and out of you in 4 hours. You know, we got some of these testosterones that are in within a day or two, and we got even suspension that is in and out of you within hours. So there's no way of getting a 100% safe way of testing somebody and knowing that they're not on, because there's always going to be a person that's going to find the loopholes, and they're always going to find a way to beat the system. So with that being said, there is no 100% clear way. And the way I was explaining was the only way that it would actually work as a deterrent would be as if every organization in every league got on board. And, just to give an example, WAF, they have a system where if you're tested and you come back with a substance that's not allowed on the list, then you're banned for 4 years. If you do it again, then it's a lifetime ban. Now, that works if it's only going to be WAF. But now that you got East versus West, you got King of Table, none of those are tested. So, you would have to have every single organization on board with that, where, if you're get tested, a random test, and you can't participate in any of those leagues. Now that would be a deterrent because nobody's going to want to take a risk because, you get caught with anything, then you're practically done arm wrestling anywhere in this world for 4 years. So that deterrent alone might, sway a lot more people not to do it. So you might be able to eliminate 95% of the people, but you're always going to have that guy that he's going to test it, man. He's going to do whatever he can. If he knows that you're doing random spot tests, he might just take his growth hormone late at night, knowing that you're not going to hit him up at between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. to get tested. And he's got 4 hours to get that in and out of your system. So just with that knowledge, guys, there is no 100% clear way to eliminate steroids and all. Now, the other part of the spectrum is, a lot of these non-arm wrestlers, they want to see these freaks. They want to see guys like Levon that, 400 pounds that don't look real and that are just genetic freaks that are just enhancing themselves to the max and all. It makes for, interest in arm wrestling and all that. So,
all natural.
Yeah. Levon just does creatine, guys. So, with that being said, brother, what is the end and conclusion for you? Are you with it or without it?
It don't matter to me, right? If they want to do it, do it. I feel like I've gone against people doing it forever, right? And I don't really. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't make you better. Technique wise, it just makes you stronger, right? So I think there's going to be people that their technique or their skill level isn't good enough to compete, so they're going to try to escalate their strength, and they're going to risk, do they get hurt? Because a lot of people that do it end up hurting themselves. They tear a tendon, they tear a bicep, they tear a fucking muscle, whatever. So like I said, I'm one of those 50-50 guys. You either all in, all out, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, right? If you wanted to run a tested meet, then run a tested meet. You want to run it where it's untested, whatever.
And then that's the other thing. I just want to kind of get everybody on this to understand this is, taking steroids is not. It doesn't make you Superman, especially getting on the table. What it does do is it increases your power to build your muscles, and that's it. It's not helping with the tendons. It's not helping with the ligaments. And anybody that knows anything about arm wrestling's all based on tendon and ligament strength. You could have the biggest maxed out muscles, but if you didn't train those tendons and ligaments, steroids can actually work against you. And the way it does is by maximizing your muscles. What it's doing is it's always pulling on those tendons and ligaments. You've maximized it. So now those tendons, if they're not at the equal strength of those muscles, which most people aren't, you're going to pop that. You're going to hurt yourself. And that's actually going to set you back. So that's where a lot of people with steroids, they don't understand that, So, the best way, that I say, if you were going to go the steroid way, is to go arm wrestle, go arm wrestle 10, 15 years without the steroids, build those joints, build those tendons up. Now, once you get up to that top level and you figured out arm wrestling, you got the technique down, and now you're trying to compete with the top, then you might want to go and dabble with the steroid use. And, now you're doing it the right way. You're doing it safely, and you're not risking injury. Where a lot of these guys come into the sport, and they think the answer is, I hear taking steroids, and they go really hard, really fast. And then what happens is that the tendon's going to pop, or they hurt themselves real bad, and it puts them out for a long time. And then they realize, steroids isn't going to make you Superman on the table, guys. The King of Table 5 event going down in Dubai. And that's going down on October 1st, and it's set by Larry Wheels, Adam Silver, and Core Sports. And there hasn't been much promotion or talk about this event, and I really just don't understand it. We got such a big platform, we got to get it more out there. It's kind of been lackluster announcements and all, so I want to start really turning that around, because there's 4 great matches set for that day, and I want to really spotlight them. And that first match that they got set is they got a Rockley, which we just seen from Georgia, and he just went against Krause, and a very dominant win against him. And he's going against Lachlan Adair, and that's the #1 arm wrestler of Australia. Lachlan just had a little setback in East versus West 4. He went against Sandra Sadis, and he lost pretty bad there. But he definitely got a learning experience. He now knows what he's got to work on. But what do you expect in that day between Rockley and Lachlan? Who do you think gets the win?
I think the advantage that Rockley has is that he trains with Levon, right? You can't ask for a better training partner. So I think that Lachlan needs to ensure that he is training well above his means, and it's the same shit that I have, right? Like, who's he got to train with? And I know when I talk to him, and Lachlan's a fucking cool guy to hang out with. Yeah, he is like, he's the guy that I'd be like, if he lived near me, we'd hang out all the time because he's fucking cool shit, right? And I think he's in the same boat as me, where the level of people he can practice with, are they gonna give him enough to be able to prepare him for Rockley, right? And I was impressed with Rockley, right? And he's definitely up and coming, and Lachlan can't take him lightly, right? Because if you're so used to pulling on Levon, who's 400 pounds, it's automatically got to make you a better competitor, right? So I think Lachlan needs to start working out as if he's got to handicap everything, use the bands, let them, 2 people do it, let them use one hand plus a finger. Like, if you put the finger inside the hand when you're doing it, let me tell you something. I don't care. It can be a girl going against me. And if they use one hand and one finger, it's like ridiculously hard, right? I've done it, and it's like, oh my God, it just makes it like a complete different opponent. And I would love to see Lachlan pull out the win. I just know that he can't ride this loss that he just had. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to clear his mind and get on to what's the path he needs to do. And then whatever path that is, escalate it a little bit more, right? So the path that he thinks he needs to do, and I know he's a planner, and I know that he's a preparer, and I know he's got a cool gym, and I know that he has all the capability, and he has the tools, and he has the mindset, right? But when I was talking to him before, it was like he was still kind of dwelling on his last loss, right? So he's got to learn to let those go and, focus on the path to victory and see yourself winning, and regardless of what anyone else says. So, I mean, undoubtedly, I'm going to be rooting for Lachlan to win. And I want to make sure that, he sees it too, right? He needs to see himself winning and have no doubt in your mind, right? So any doubt you have, get rid of it, right? Because he needs to be his own best supporter, right? And he needs to be in this to win it and know that he can win, right? Not, have any hesitation or any nervousness, right? So he's got the talent, so he needs to just apply it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And what I was giving Lachlan some ideas is, I want to run it by you, what your thoughts on this is. I was telling him it might be time to go travel, bro. Bring the family, go around Europe, go pull with some of the top schools, and, just get as many arms as you can, get to feel different hands everywhere. He's kind of in a cage in Australia, he's the king over there. There's nobody that's going to push him. So now I think it's time for him to get out there and just go around and just not pulling super matches everywhere, but just practicing with everybody and really getting the experience, all the different hands and the different teams. And, I was even saying, you should go over by like with Sandras and Coach Ray and Giannis over there and, learn from them. You got all these world-class competitors that you're good friends with, utilize that. Do you think that's good tip for him?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Now the next match that we got set for King of Table 5 is we got Khaled, the grip monster of Dubai, and he's going to be going against Schoolboy. Now we know the whole reason why they got this match set is Schoolboy went against Larry Wheels last, and he beat Larry Wheels. But what spotlighted from that day, which I'm sure Schoolboy wasn't too happy, was what went down on the after pool table, and that was Khaled just dominating Schoolboy. Yes, granted, Schoolboy just pulled Larry Wheels in a super match, and I'm sure he was coming down from that high and all. So what do you think, bro? Do you think that it's going to be a tough match, or do you think Schoolboy's technique and all is going to be the victor that day?
I think that guy Khaled is got so much fucking raw talent. I mean, I watched him and I was in awe at just the ability. He just is in the weirdest positions and just can stop his opponents, right? I mean, he just looks like he's just stupid strong, right? And I I was laughing because I'm seeing him and I'm like, oh my God, if this guy learns how to arm wrestle, everyone's in trouble, right? Because he just like sat there and just looking at people and he's like, all right, go ahead. Oh yeah, all right. And then he just like ridiculously holding them with his hands. I mean, what's the guy do? Hold trains, right? I mean, that's insane, right? So if he's been practicing at all and picking up any technique, I'm taking Khaled, right? But I know that Schoolboy is out for revenge, right? I mean, the guy's got ridiculous amount of followings on YouTube and tons of fans. So I'm sure he's took it personal that when he lost it. So I don't think he's going to take this match and then take it lightly. So I'm sure he's going to bring everything he can to the table, and there's no question that he's got a lot more technique than Khaled, right? But Khaled's just way stronger. So look for Schoolboy to come out on his fingers as hard as he can. Look for strategy in the setup. Look for I mean, just my opinion, right? He's going to have to try to bust out quick and have to hit fast, because I don't think Khaled's fast. I think he's just ridiculously strong. So
let me throw in this little tidbit before you actually give the prediction. The other thing is people think that Khaled would be training now for arm wrestling and preparing. The one thing that people got to understand is no, he's not at all. He actually has an MMA fight coming up, and that's where all his focus is. So he thinks he's just going to go and, go do his MMA fight, just train for that. And then he's just going to come right off the couch and he's going to go right against Schoolboy and just school him, on the tables. So there is no arm wrestling training going down for Khaled. Now, the other thing that you got to remember is Schoolboy, when they last met up, was only 20 years old. So now he's 22 years old, has been just working out in the dungeon, I'm sure with Khaled's picture up on the wall and saying, yo, I want my revenge. So that's just two things before you make your prediction. You got to know those, behind the scenes kind of info.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I am looking at it as if Schoolboy is going to have the mindset to win, right? And have a better tools in the bag, we'll say. But I think Khaled is just super strong, right? So what is it? Is it 6 rounds?
Yeah, everything in King of Table is 6 rounds.
6 rounds. So I'm going to go 4-2 Schoolboy wins, right? Because Khaled's not trained in arm wrestling. So I'll go 4-2. Okay.
Now, the main event that they have set for there is Dave Chafee versus Vitaly Leladen. How do you think that goes, bro, after seeing, Dave suffering that loss against Artem Morzov in East versus West 4? And it was due to endurance. He just gassed out those first 2 rounds. He came in very dominating, and then the 3rd round, he just, he gassed out. Now, with it being 6 rounds, what do you think, bro? Do you think that Dave has a shot?
That's what I'm saying. If it was best of 3, right, I'd bet my house on Dave, right? And with it being 6 rounds, I want to hear that Dave is working on endurance. I want to hear that Dave is going to get to Dubai at least 4 days before the tournament, right before the match. If he's going to roll in 2 days before, and then the time zone's going to be different, and then it's long flights, your blood thickens on the flight, and it takes a day or two just to adjust. I think that Dave can't go into this match without being prepared. He obviously has the strength, but I'd like to see him change up whatever his routines he's doing and do it more built on endurance and longer matches, like I do with my, with every routine and every weight I lift. I don't care what I can do 1 time or 2 times or 5 times. I care what can I do 50 times in a row? What's the most weight I can do 50, 60 times? What's the most weight I can do 30 times for my second set? What's the most weight I can end with 15, right? And in my mind, that's me getting ready for long matches and endurance. So I think, that's something that maybe Dave needs to incorporate in his, because there's no question that he's stronger. There's no question that he's better. The only question has been the gas tank being so small, right? So how do we work on the gas tank? And then that's what Dave Chafee knows he needs to fix, right? And if he fixes that, that's a fucking dangerous animal right there.
And I see a correlation with you and Devin, and you two guys are like the epitome, I feel like, of endurance arm wrestlers, guys that could just be on the table forever. And it's very interesting to me that both of you guys are volume trainers. You guys are putting in the work volume wise. But the other thing that I got to say that people don't realize is you are doing volume work with people's PRs. You literally take what they are doing maximum and doing 1 rep with your taking, and now, all right, I'll do 50 of these, and that's the other thing that is just freaky to me. But I think it's what's making you be on the table for 7 minutes and just keep going. I mean, you're just an animal with that. So if Dave, if you're listening, bro, Jerry's advice right there is just step up those reps, man. Lots of volume work seems to be working for him. So we just got mentioned 2 days ago. We just got another match set on the King of Table 5. And this one's going to be a good one. This one is we got Artem the Terminator Morozov. And he is going to be going against David Diadakin. And this guy, David, is a beast, bro. We seen what he did. Say that again.
Left-handed?
This one is left-handed. And we got to see David. He really dominated Oleg Zork in East versus West 4, and a lot of backlash though from that. A lot of people weren't happy with that. They were saying that he was very disrespectful to Oleg. He was yelling in his face. He was amped up and all. So, what was your thoughts first on that? Did you get to see it, that match? I know you were, getting ready for your match, but did you watch that one?
Yeah, I did, and I was fucking shocked, right? And if I was betting money, I would have bet a lot of money on Oleg, right? And I don't know if maybe he's just not back to the level he was once at, or is this guy really, Superman, right? That he went against. But I know that the guy is going to be giving up a ton of weight to Artem, because he's going to be giving up, 80, 90 pounds?
Yeah, I think he's going to be putting up the difference will be 15 kilograms, whatever that comes out the pound wise, because David is
like 30. 15 kilograms, only like 32 pounds or 33 pounds, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, he's been sizing up, bro. I think he cut all the way down to go against Oleg Zork that day. But the thing that I want to make mention is I've never seen a man so fast in my life with that hit. Bro, if you blinked a half a second, the match was over. And you're like, did he just get a pin? I didn't even see it. It was so goddamn quick. So,
yeah.
I think that might have been, the kryptonite for Oleg. Oleg was, he's waiting to catch the guy and, then power back through him. And I don't think he ever got that opportunity, man. It was just so explosive and so quick. I think that's what was defeated him that day. So just like you said, man, Artem is another breed, bro. Artem is another, size bigger than him. He's going in with the 15 kilogram advantage and all. But I got to say, this is another question. Will he be able to stop that super, super fast, explosive hit? What do you think?
I'm telling you, I think it's going to be way more than 15 kilograms different. He came in under 200 pounds to take on Oleg.
No. He was more than that. I think he was 220 or 230 that day, and Oleg Zok was like 185, 190.
Oh, really? I thought he was the number one in the world under 200 pounds.
No. He came in bigger that day. I think I'm pretty sure it was 220. I will double check for everybody, but I think he was around that 220 mark.
Right,
And I heard that was real extreme cutting too, that he had to really cut down to get to that size. So I think he walks around a lot bigger than that.
No, well, that's crazy that Oleg would have taken the match then, to give up that much weight, right? So
I mean,
Oleg,
but bro, look at Oleg's arm, bro. That left arm, dude. When I got to see that in person, it's not a normal 185, 190 pound arm. So, he's got the same size left arm as a 300 pound dude. So, I'm sure that dude's willing to take on almost anybody. But, then again, bro, his kryptonite, I think, is the speed. He's not expecting that with that big tree trunk and arm. He wants to catch you and bring you back. When you seen David hit that fast, bro, oh my God, you got to be really, really quick also. And I think that's where Oleg was lacking that day.
Yeah, me too.
But did you think it was disrespectful though, the way he was acting, or,
I mean, I think he was cocky, right? And I think that he could have been without it, but whatever, maybe that's his MO. That's the way he likes to operate, right? And wants to get in their head if he's cocky and arrogant. I mean, look at Gennady, the first match when he went against me, right? He was all fired up and in my face and yelling and screaming. Go look at the same Gennady match too when I beat him. And look like someone's dog, right? Round three, when he tried to go inside with me. Then he's like, this guy just kicked my dog and dragged it down the street. But
yeah.
So
what I want to make mention with that is, I just watched again the Gennady versus Monster Michael Todd and Gennady versus Dave, and each one of them, Gennady was just trying to clown you guys, bro. He was trying to look at you guys dead in the eyes and just like, show he's the more dominant, overpowering guy. And that's what was so great about your match, bro. The first 2 rounds, he was doing the same thing, just trying to, I noticed it, because I'm right behind you. I'm in the corner and I'm looking at his face and he thought he had this. He's looking you dead in the eyes. You're not looking at him. You're looking at I think you're looking at either at your hand or you're looking at the ref. But, round 3 is when I seen that change, and I just remember when we were walking up to the table and I just looked over at him. And he went from being, he had some color in his face to all of a sudden he was white as can be, and he stopped looking at you. And when I noticed that, I sensed weakness and I just started yelling like, yo, he's done. He's done. Look at his face, so that is the one thing I did notice that. And then the other thing I want to do is I just want to throw in there for David. You got to remember, David's looking at this guy, Oleg Zok, as probably the guy to beat left hand. So he's coming in there. I mean, adrenaline is going. He's nervous as hell. He's going against potentially the best left arm, pound for pound, to ever live. So, I mean, just riding on that, his adrenaline's got to be going. Any normal person is going to be pumping. Now he gets the win so decisively. I think he's just so excited, bro. He's just beat the guy that he's always probably put on the pedestal as the top of the top, and he made it look easy. So, for David's defense, guys, let him enjoy it, bro. Maybe lose the whole yelling in his face, but when your adrenaline is pumping, I mean, it's like being in a fist fight, man. Everything is there. You're ready to just totally go into warrior mode and all. So I don't think we should hold that against him, man. I think he was very respectful after he won. He shook his hand and, he calmed down a little. But, when you're in the heat of the moment, man, you're ready. You're a warrior. You're not always thinking. So, but who do you think is going to get the win, man, that day between Artem and David? Like,
Artem looks like a fucking machine beast, right? So I'll go with Artem.
Okay. matches that I want to bring up on East versus West 5 going down November 19th. And we're only going to touch on a couple right now, and then we will come back to this.
What about the touch on that? I think my tan looks a little better than yours today.
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, dude, you've been working that tan, man. Been laying out at the pool a lot, huh?
Been hanging by the pool. I was trying to be Paul Italia and Mike Aiello all in one.
Oh, man. Yo, so we know what we got to do. That just tells me. So now September, we got to set up a little gym setup by your pool, bro. So this way, when you're hanging out by the pool, working that tan, you're also working on getting beating Hermes' ass that day. So,
Right.
so let's start off with a couple of the matches, the beginning matches. This one is an interesting one. This one is our man Paul Talbot, which we've had on our channel before. And he's going against Daniel Prokopiak. And this kid, Daniel, man, he's something special. He just really, he made an example of Corey Miller over in East versus West 4. And we all know that Corey Miller, man, he is the man in North America when it comes to the lightweight division. And Daniel just kind of held him in the center and very dominating. So, I just been trying to rack my brain. Do we have anybody in North America that's in that lightweight division that could touch Daniel? And I haven't found nobody. So obviously Engen hasn't found anybody either because, he has to go up to the next weight class up, that being Paul Talbot. And we know that Paul is no joke, especially left arm. We know that Paul walks around at around 185 and, he is up for talks for being one of the best pound for pound left-hand arm wrestlers on the planet. So, what do you think that day, man? We know that Paul will have the size advantage, but after seeing Daniel against Corey Miller, how do you think this is going to turn out?
Well, I'll tell you, Paul is a pretty dedicated and driven person, right? So he's been, he came into the sport, wanting, and he looked like a sponge, right? Going to just soak it up, and was traveling around, practicing with different people and then giving it 100%. So I think he's definitely great for the sport and driven and passionate about being the best. And I think this is going to be a good match for him. Right? I think after watching this guy, Dan, with Corey, it was crazy. I mean, he just sat there and just held him and didn't even flinch, right? It just made it look like, wow, right? So obviously, Paul then can't take him lightly, but I think the weight and strength advantage is going to be weighing towards Paul. Now he just has to make sure he applies it in a way that this guy is not able to counter it, right? And because, I felt like he just knew exactly what to do to stop Corey, right? And just grabbed his hand and said, I know exactly where you're going to go, and I'm just going to hold you, right? So Corey's, phenomenal with his hits and with explosion. So to see that be taken away, I would have liked to have seen Corey jump in and try to pull with him, because it was like once Corey's head looked like he got out of it after he got his hit and explosion taken away. And it looked like he just kept trying to hit, but never really dove in to try to get behind it and pull with him, strength versus strength. Corey's big thing has always been, he's, got a super fast hit.
Flash.
Right. That got taken away, and it was just like he became a mortal man, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't try to go power for power with this dude. And I think where Paul is not going to be super fast like Corey, Paul's going to be strong, right? So I think that, seeing that strength, maybe that's going to apply differently with this dude.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, man, because the other thing is Daniel, bro, he looked like a ninja on the table. Just like he said, man, he just was like, kind of playing with him, and he kind of, he knew how to negate his hit and just take him out of his position, but he never went on the offensive. It was more like he wanted to display that he was that much more dominantly, that he could just sit there in defense and control the whole match. Now, will he be able to do that against Paul Talbot? I don't know, man, because we know Paul is going to be one of those guys that he'll test you, man. He'll come inside on you. He's going to make you, really work. But the question for me is, does Daniel go on the offensive on this one? He's given up some weight and all. So can we expect Daniel to be hitting? That's got to be one of the questions, man. Or, is Daniel going to do the same thing where he thinks he could just lay back and play defense and, just dominate Paul that way? But what's your, if you had a bet on this one, you had to put the house up on this one, who are you betting on?
Yeah, I'm not betting. Right? This match is going to be tough, right? So,
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I'd rather bet on Paul and be wrong than bet on Daniel and win, right? So I'm always going to, pull for my own people. So I'm betting on Paul, right? But I think it's going to be difficult. So it's best of 5. So I'll go 3-1.
Okay. David Dadekon is going to be going against Prudnik, left hand. And now the little behind context of this one is these two got on the after pull table and they just went to war with each other. But a lot of people don't understand is that Prudnik was on after table with a few more people before he actually got on with David. So it looked a lot closer that day. But the other thing is it was people were saying that Prudnik was getting revenge for what David did to Oleg Zuk earlier, them both being from Ukraine and all. And, people were saying that Prudnik was going in to even the score out. So what do you expect this day, bro, between David Dadekon and Prudnik, left hand? Who do you think gets the win?
I think Prudnik, right? So, I think this match happens after the King of the Table match, right? So I would change my opinion if the dude David was to beat Artem, right? But as it stands right now, I go Prudnik.
Okay. Now, the next match that we have set is we got Tobias Sporing, and he's going to be going against Georgi Dezernov from Kazakhstan. So it's going to be a right-hand match. Do you know much about Georgie? Have you seen him, Paul?
No.
Yeah, same thing here. I got to kind of do my research, but what I did know is that he's from Kazakhstan. So we know Kazakhstan is one of the top arm wrestling programs in the world. They got tons of pullers there, top level. I think Ongabayev has a school. It's got 1,500 registered arm wrestlers there. So they are it's no joke over there in Kazakhstan. And they also at the top level, they have sponsors. It's not actually from the government, even though the government does give out scholarships for school and all if you're a top arm wrestler. But they have actual sponsors that if you're at the top of the game, they will sponsor you, which they will pay for your apartment. They will pay for all your needs. And also there's a lot of motivation for these arm wrestlers to get to the top level out there.
Well, let's put a call out to those sponsors. My name is Jerry Cadorette, right? And go ahead and feel free to message me.
So we're gonna leave that match to the side just because we don't have enough data to give an accurate prediction. But another good match that we got set is Paul Lynn is going to be making the trip, and he's going against Irakli Gamataz. Now, he's another one I haven't really seen much about him. I gotta kind of do my research. Do you know much about Irakli? No. All right. So we're going to skip over that one too, but we will get back to this. So in the next interview,
Paul Lynn.
Okay, Paul Lynn for the win. There we go. Now, the next match that we got set, this one's going to be exciting. This one's going to tell us a lot. It's Artem the Terminator Morozov going against Rivas. And we know that Rivas, bro, he's been quite the force in the East versus West, man. He's got wins on Monster Michael Todd. He just got a very impressive win on Derek Smith, where he just flashed right through him. So this is the first one that I feel like it's going to be a real test for Rivas. It's not his first one, I'm saying when he went against Monster Michael Todd, that was a battle and all. But Artem Morozov, man, this dude, I can't say enough about him. What are you thinking that day, bro? Who do you think gets the win?
Artem.
Okay. You think it's going to be a war and close, or do you think Artem is just going to dominate and go right through him?
I think it's going to be a battle, right? Artem's not fast. He's just ridiculously strong. And Rivas is quick, right? So I think Rivas gets one win on Artem, but then Artem catches him and comes back for the next 3. So I'm going to go 1-3.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing is with the kid Artem, man, he's good at adjusting, man, in between matches and all. And, you know, we seen that with him against it was Tobias sparring, and they went at it left hand in East versus West too. And you know, Tobias came out and I think surprised them and you know, gave him a little something. And then Artem switched the game plan around and he brought him inside to a hook. And it was a whole nother game when Artem went inside with him and, you know, he just dominated him then. So, but the other match that I got to make mention just after saying that is we have the revenge match is set. So we had going on is Artem Morozov left hand going against Hermes Gasparini. But Hermes has now backed out to that match. And, you know, I think it has a lot to do with you, bro. You know, he said on Engin's interview with him that he was putting all his focus on his right hand. And you could see when he said that, Engin was like, whoa, did you just say that out in public? Like, what? So I don't think Engin was too happy with that, you know, because, you know, being a promoter and organizer, the last thing you want to hear from one of your top athletes is that they're only focusing on one arm and they don't really care about the other match. So, you know, Engin then, you know, canceled that match, you know, saying that Hermes was suffering tennis elbow or whatever. So he set up another match, and that was the revenge match. And that's these guys, Artem Morozov going against Tobias sparring, left hand again. Now the difference is the first meeting at East versus West 2, the weight cap was 130 kilograms. Well, now Tobias sparring has put on some serious size. He is up at 140 kilograms, which is around 309-pound mark, where the first one they met at 287. So do you think with that extra weight that Tobias is going to have something now for Artem?
I don't know. I was messing around with Tobias after Paul. And I mean, I shouldn't have been because I was drunk thanks to you, right? But I had to because fucking the wife said that he looked like her ex-boyfriend. So and then just fucking around with them.
No. Oh, hold on. You're mixing guys up. Tobias sparring wasn't there. You're mixing them with Sandra Sadis. That's who you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So yeah.
Like the fact that he's fucking. My wife said he looked like her ex-boyfriend. So, all right. So I screwed it up. All right. I don't know then. I think I got him mixed up. So Tobias.
Yeah, so Tobias is that real young looking kid, man. He's like 6'4". Say that again.
Was he not at the last one, the one we were just at?
No, he wasn't there. So I believe the last one he was at was East versus West 2. And that's when he went against Artem Morozov. And, you know, he lost that day. I think it was 3-1 to Artem. But what he did do is he found a lane. You know, he if he could keep it outside, he actually has the advantage. But, you know, what Artem figured out was when he brought him inside and got him in the hook, you know, Artem had no problem beating him and all. So it's going to be who gets into their lane quicker on that match.
Yeah. So I'm obviously fucked up.
All right. So we're going to leave it at like that. We're going to call it a night. I got the couple matches on the East versus West 5, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of the list off. I'm going to do a little homework, and I'm going to be sending you some videos to catch you up on some of these guys that we don't know of yet. Okay. The other thing I want to just really quickly talk about is, that after poll, man. Just want to kind of give context of everything that happened that night, you know, and kind of so people understand, is, you know, there's a lot of video surfacing of me and you going around drunk and getting into crazy shit. And also, you know, I just want to run through real quick what happened. So right after the big win, you know, that being you versus Gennady and all, you know, a lot of the after pulling was going on stage right there. But, you know, we were riding so high. The whole place is taking pictures with you. You know, I wanted to get you out over to the table signing because, you know, we were the last guys that signed the tables. So we went and did the table signing, and then all we want to do was celebrate right after that. We weren't thinking no after pull, no nothing. Let's just party. So, we went over by the bar downstairs, and we get there. And as we're getting there, they're closing the doors and they're shutting the lights off. And you just looked at me like, yo, how good are you, bro? Can you get this to open? I'm like, yo, follow me, bro. So we just open the door. Everybody's like, no, 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 we're closed. Now, mind you, nobody speaks English in Turkey, man. It is not American friendly as far as speaking, American and all. So, we were, I was just like, yo, he just won. He's the world champion. We just want a couple of drinks real quick and then we'll get out of here. And they're like, no, 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 no. We're like, bro, whatever it is, man, we'll buy the bar. No, we don't care, whatever. Like, please, we need some drinks. So the guy looked at us and everything, and he obviously could tell that you were just in a match, everybody's soaking wet, sweat and all that. So he's like, all right, you got 15 minutes, So we're like, all right, let's do some damage, man. It's me, you, and Kate. And we're like, let's put it in. So this guy puts out this little tiny little alcohol in a drink, and we're like, what is this? And I'm like, no. We need more than that. And he's like, oh, that's more money. I'm like, bro, we'll buy the bar right now. We just need to get fucked up right now. So now this guy understood. He's on the same page. So now he starts pouring out doubles or whatever. Well, we got 15 minutes, mind you. So now me and Jerry pop out 5 drinks, 5 doubles, and it's just doom, doom, doom. So we're feeling it. We are feeling great right now. So now we leave the bar. And as we walk in through the hall, we hear a bunch of commotion by the front. So we go walking over there, and there's an after pull table in the front lobby. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're like, oh shit, yeah. So then we just go right in there, and of course, all of us are really feeling it. And we're talking shit, we're talking with Gennady, and we're messing around with Hermes. And next thing I turn around, and you're on the table with Sandra's. Now, before this, we all discussed, we're like, oh, we're not going to do any after pulling, you just had a war and all. Well, there goes that plane out the window, and, Jerry's going at it with Sandra's, and, I'm watching a little, but, I'm also getting into my own shit and all that. And, next thing I see, Engen comes running over, and Engen's like, yo, trying to calm you two down because you two are going all out. And, he just sees like a possible injury happen, and all he's thinking is, yo, I got these guys coming back in November. We can't mess this up right now. So what was going on at the table, bro? Because, a lot of people were saying that, Sandra's had something for you and all, but,
that's not true, right? We were going, and then we gripped up, and then I was taking him over, and then I let him hit on me and then bring me down, figuring I could just let him get me into his sweet spot, and I was going to show him how strong I was and pull him back up and through. Yeah, that was a mistake, right? And so when I went to go do that, I was like, oh fuck, I let him go too far. He got on top of it, and he's a big oaf, right? And I'm like, all right, fuck, right? I dropped it and lost that one. After I had already won a couple, the first couple, and then I went again. I think I brought him over the next one. And then he did the same thing. I let him jump on me and whatever. It was practice, just fucking around, right? But I was definitely in no condition to be on a fucking table. You should have never let me on that stupid table, right?
Yeah.
But
I was in no shape to be the smart in one right there.
Just to be funny, because Kate was like, oh my God, he looks just like my ex-boyfriend, right? And I was like, well, get the fuck over here. Right?
That's all you had to hear, bro. And it's like, come here, kid. I gotta show you a little something.
Yeah, right. So it was just funny. But he's a wicked cool dude, right? That whole team from where is it?
Mafia.
Yeah. From that, Coach Ray and him, Sandra's, they were good people. I like them. We had fun hanging out with them. They spoke awesome English, right? And just cool people.
Yeah, totally agree, bro. I love Sandra's, bro. Really fun kid, man. He's got such a bright future. And of course, you guys all know Coach Ray. He's the voice of arm wrestling, man. That dude is just hilarious and just a great energy to be around. And then, you got the Jedi, Giannis, man. And, he just looks at his students, like Coach Ray, and he looks at Sandra's, and they don't even have to say anything. They're just like communicating through, the Jedi way and all. So definitely a really cool crew, man. A lot of fun. Definitely consider them good friends and all. But what do you think, bro? What did you feel from Sanders that day, man? Is he gonna be a force real soon to be in the top 5, you think?
Listen, he's definitely strong. And I know he was focusing on being dominant in the 110 class, the 242 class. I mean, I wouldn't see a lot of people that could touch him in the 242 class. I mean, I know Prudnick's dropping down there, and Devin wants to drop down there and whatnot. So it'd be an interesting class, right? Because he was strong, but don't get me wrong. I was fucking gassed from me and Gennady, right? And my arm was sore. I only jumped on that table because Kate said you look like your boyfriend, right? And let's get it record straight. I had 6 of those fucking White Russians that were doubles, because of you, right? Yeah. But so it don't pay no mind to the stupidness, right? But I mean, my arm was sore. Even Gennady said to me, he says, "What are you doing on the table after our match?" Right? And I says, "I don't know, right? I'm just drunk." But it was, I had fun. I had a lot of fun, afterwards when it was over and we were just hanging out with everyone, and everyone's just so fucking cool, right? That's the thing I love about our sport is we might be enemies for the minutes we're up there competing against each other, but before and after, we can all hang out and fucking have fun together, right?
Yeah.
Because it's an elite group, right? And that elite group, they get together and it's just like everyone's passion for the sport's so strong. And then it's just like you get to see the real person behind the scenes there, and hanging out with them is so cool, right? And it makes it interesting, right? And I mean, I'm going to have a ton of fun with the build-up and the hype against Hermes match, right? Right? But I'm definitely, I'll be buying him drinks afterwards, so he takes the loss a little bit better, right? And he's a good guy, and he's great for the sport, right? So I think that we need more people like that. And I'm obviously the older dude. I'm like his dad, right? Because my daughter's older than him, so it's kind of fun.
You know what I got to say too, bro, is the way you are with having a match. You bring the hype, bro. You're not just that quiet arm wrestler that just shows up that day and puts in the work. You lead it up, bro. And this is what I want to encourage more of the arm wrestlers. A lot of these older guys, they're not doing that. They think just their name being part of a card is good enough. And I just, our sport's not there yet. We need this help, and what you did on this last match against Gennady, you guys were the spotlight, bro. And you guys lived up to every minute of shit talking before for the 3 months before. You guys made it happen, bro. You put on a friggin' war. So I want to encourage more guys to do this, man. We don't like to go on the interviews. They don't like to, necessarily shit talk, but we got to just get them more involved, because it's helping our sport grow, and that's what we're all trying to do is we want to get the hype, because the more people that are interested in these matches, we're going to get the arm wrestlers, getting to know you guys' background and starting to associate with who they like better and all. So, I just want to encourage more the arm wrestlers to really put in the work, beforehand. We don't just expect you to go up that day and just, pull a match. We're expecting you to hype up the match where, you don't got to actually talk shit or disrespect anybody, but, hype it up a little, What do you think about that, Jerry? Because you definitely are, whatever you do, bro, is the way. I truly believe you get everybody part of these matches.
I'll tell you, I'm going to commit to my match. Whoever I say yes to going against on a match, I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to train for that person. I'm going to visualize how I'm going to attack, go after it. And it's going to be balls to the wall. It's going to be a war, right? And I think the part of it is just mentally getting ready for it and, make it fun, right? Because I want to push my opponent to bring the best version of themselves to the match, right? So I don't want either one of us to win on fouls. I don't want that, right? I want the strongest person to get fucking the pin on the other opponent, right? That's going to be me, right? But the end of the day, I don't want to beat a pussy version of the person I just went against. I want to know that I beat that best person, because to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so if I'm going to help push the other person, that's great, and I'm going to make it fun. Like I said, it is what it is. When we get on that table, right? To me, it's my legacy. It's my everything, right? So there's going to be no doubt that I'm going to leave with knowing that I gave it 100% and no one can ever said that I didn't give 100% when I went on that table. So I'm anxious. I'm excited. I get fired up. I'm passionate about it. And at the end of the day, I feel bad for whoever's going to be against me on that table, because it's there's no question it's going to be an ass beat that's going to happen.
You know what is funny with you too, bro? It's not even you hype it up before you get the whole lead up where everybody's watching, but even during the match, bro, this shit never ends. You are just constantly talking shit. You're yelling at the referees. The other thing is these poor referees, bro. You're yelling at them the whole time. You're calling fouls. You're it's just so funny how you take full control of the whole, like, everything going on. And one of the best quotes coming from it was in the match when you're yelling and you go, "Engen!" And then all of a sudden you're like, you got so mad that you didn't get what you wanted. You just pinned them down. You're like, "Winner!" It was like you were calling everything yourself, bro. And it was just, it kind of went viral. Everybody's talking about that and they're making the memes. Like, it's just, I love it, bro. The energy that you bring is just, it's amazing, bro. And just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Haven't already, please click that subscribe button. If you're feeling this content, smash that thumbs up button. It's going to be a lot to come. We're going to be doing a lot of lead up training camp, giving all his workouts. A lot of shit talking going to be back and forth with him and Hermes. I'll tell you that right off the bat. And, I'll be making the trip with Jerry again. So I'm going to be bringing everybody to behind the scenes content. We'll be doing that on my channel. But yeah, guys, lots to come. So definitely make sure you're a subscriber. And Jerry, any parting words?
No, but I mean, everyone should subscribe, right? I mean, fuck, even if you hate me, if you love me, if you like me, if you dislike me, whatever, you should still subscribe, because at the end of the day, we're trying to grow the sport. And how the hell are we going to grow the sport if people aren't, at least pushing the people that are pushing the sport? And as a group, we have so much more power that we don't use, because people are like, whatever. But it's shit like that keeps us out of the Olympics. It's shit like that makes it so big sponsors don't want to have interest, right? So big sponsors want to see big followings and see that the sport is growing substantially, right? And if I'm going to bust my ass and I'm going to bring a version of me that has never been seen, including by myself, right, and others are too, help us, right? Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit everything, right? I mean, help push the sport. If you don't, what are you doing? You're really just holding it back, right? So send it to friends, send it to whatever, right? And let's grow. How the fuck can Logan Paul have millions of followers and he doesn't do shit, right? So I think that our sport deserves a lot more recognition than what we got.
And you get to follow the man that has got the clear path to number one. He's called it since his comeback. He's beating Gennady. Now he's about to beat Hermes. And right after that, the winner of that is Gen Levon. So this man is lined up directly for that one spot. Watch him as he continues. Watch as he trains. Watch the 35 years experience all coming out. I mean, this is a treat, guys. This is amazing. This is one of the top level pullers for the last 35 years. So follow his journey to number one, man. This is going to be epic with a really, really big, great ending that a lot of people aren't expecting. Maybe there's 1% out there that thinks that Levon could be beaten, but watching this man and knowing all the experience behind him, I think he's got the style that's going to present the biggest problem for Levon. So follow his journey there, guys.
Yes, please.
Have a great night, brother. I appreciate it, man.
All right, my man. Talk to you guys later. See you.